What's going on YouTube? JT's Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're talking about Nightwing issue number 115. This is Fallen Grayson, part 3 of 5. This was written by Tom Taylor and art by Bruno Redondo with colors by Adriano Lucas. And we only have 2 more issues left of the Tom Taylor run on Nightwing, and I thought this last issue, or at least this one that just got released here, was actually pretty good. I'm liking the fact that Dick Grayson really has to generally do the majority of this stuff on his own. This issue makes sure to point out ways to kind of get the Titans out of this whole situation, because it feels like every single run it's like he's always bailed out by somebody. No, he genuinely has to kind of figure things out for the most part on his own. I mean, he still has his allies in there that are going to kind of be filling in for him in some certain degree. But a lot of this stuff, there was definitely some setup over the course of this whole run. I do love the artwork by Bruno Redondo. And I like, too, you have like the reporters there silhouetted there, and you have the images over the backdrop. Basically, all these victims that Heartless has in some way have some sort of connection to Dick Grayson. So a lot of it, like I said, had actually like genuinely like decent setup in that regard. So Dick was framed as Heartless. He was put into jail, or not necessarily, like he was handcuffed, but he was shot. He was in the hospital, and everyone else is kind of on standby. He breaks free from his chains, goes back to see Barbara Gordon. He still had this whole fear situation within him, and he has to go find somebody to help overcome that. And the person that we do find out is Boston Brand, aka Deadman. So I like that connection. I was like, wait a minute, who the heck is this guy? And then you're like, oh, it's Boston Brand. That makes sense, and that's actually kind of cool. So he goes off to this monastery. Artwork, like I said, by Bruno is fantastic. And he finds Deadman, who's going to help him overcome his little fear situation. And then meanwhile, Heartless is like, hey, y'all, I'm Dick Grayson. That's totally me, because after he was whole framed of the situation, and he's threatening the whole city, he's threatening to kill a bunch of people if, you know, the Titans don't get out of there. This dude really is just pure evil and just unapologetically just hates everyone, and I do admire that, because I really am not, I'm kind of tired of so many sympathetic villains. I just like villains sometimes who just are just dislikable, like to the extent I feel like we've kind of lost track of a lot of like purely unapologetically evil villains with no sense of like good within them, because you need those types of characters to tell stories. And I appreciate that about Heartless in here. Yes, I've complained constantly about the fact that we have taken forever to get to this point, but about like following up with the whole Heartless thing, because it just felt like we delayed it for so long. But now that we're finally here, like, oh wow, I wish we could have gotten some of this stuff earlier on. But basically, like I said, Dick's off doing his thing, and he's gonna go talk with Deadman to kind of overcome this whole fear situation, like he did when he was a kid. And Heartless also calls out Nightwing. And we know Dick is out of the country with his dog, so who is he going to turn to? Who's going to be showing up as Nightwing? Well, it's going to be Bruce Wayne. Batman, who normally is Batman, is going to be dressed up as Nightwing, which is both kind of cool, but also really weird to see him in the Nightwing suit. It's such a weird thing, like, because I don't know if he's ever has worn the Nightwing suit, because we know Dick has filled in for Batman. One of my favorite runs on Batman is when it was Dick and Damian as a dynamic duo. I've mentioned this countless times, but it's so surreal seeing Bruce in the Nightwing suit. But it's kind of a cool little thing that I didn't really expect to see within this issue. I figured if he was going to have somebody do it probably would have made sense to have like Jason Todd, since he's a similar build and all that to Dick Grayson, a little bit younger. But also having Bruce be the one to do so is, like I said, it's a nice little bit of like, hey, I'm gonna help like get you back for you helping out as like filling in for Batman for me, because he's done it on several occasions. So I like that revelation. I do want to see Bruce just kick the crap out of Heartless and just put his ass into jail. So that should be interesting. But we all know, like, it can't be Bruce who defeats him, which would just be kind of a little bit of a cop-out. So it's going to be Dick Grayson in some regard. So Batman and Bruce will kind of get out of the situation in some way. But having, you know, Bruce be the one to stop this villain that's just been specifically Nightwing's wrong, we feel like a little bit of a cop-out. So I'm sure they'll, you know, find some way for Dick to come back to stop him, but it is kind of a cool moment to see him in the Nightwing suit. So yeah, we got some great artwork by Bruno Redondo, and the storyline has picked up a lot. We only have 2 issues left. I kind of wish more of the run was like this, and I love the fact that the Titans have been booted out of the city, so that way Dick doesn't have to rely on them constantly, which he does like over and over again with each and every story. It feels like they've bailed him out in every single thing. So looking forward to seeing how this all wraps up. We only got 2 issues left. Felt like a lot happened in this one, and yeah, I'm excited. So all right, well, that's all I have to say. Post your comments down below. Let me know what you thought of this issue and that, and yeah, I got a few more issues to cover. I'll cover the Superman one today, and then I'll probably get to the other 2 issues tomorrow, which will be Titans and World's Finest. But I figured I'd get this one out of the way because I've been covering the Nightwing book for so long. We also got news that a lot of new creative teams are going to be taking over in October. San Diego Comic-Con, they got the whole, like, Absolute Power thing going on, and then we have, like, this whole, like, Absolute Batman stuff, new initiative that DC's doing, which is, I guess, basically, like, their equivalent to, like, an Ultimate Universe or whatnot. I gotta watch the video. They posted something today, so they'll have, like, all these different new creative launches and that. They talk about how this is the biggest thing DC has done in so long, but I've heard that story so many times that I'm kind of numb to it all, but we'll see what they do with it. All right, well, that's all I have to say. As always, take care now. Bye-bye then, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace out.